Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Annie, and this is Unity Consciousness. Thank you so much for stopping by today. So glad you did. I'd like to welcome any new subscribers and also thank those of you who are returning for this week's energy update. Let's jump right in. We had a full moon in Aquarius on Saturday that was extremely powerful. A lot of truths coming to light and a lot of dynamics, group dynamics, family dynamics that were present, asking us to better understand our place in those dynamics and how we can be a better representation of our essence in that process. Now, that energy is still with us. The kite energy is still in play. And the Mars-Saturn opposition is still very strong, very, very strong. In addition to that, today we have Mars, which is in that sign of Libra, helping us with relational aspects and making choices and weighing all of our options, is going to trine Pluto, which is retrograde in Aquarius. And coming off that full moon energy, the revelations that came along with that and the groups of belonging, now we need to make choices. And like I said, Mars in Libra is here to help us weigh the pros and the cons of the choices relative to alignment and our pure essence, and the need for transformation from the inside out, because Pluto is retrograde. We're working on alignment and transformation based on the dynamics of that full moon and what we need to let go of. Very exciting tomorrow, which is the 11th. Mercury will go direct. Hallelujah. This Mercury retrograde has been a bit of a challenge for me, and I'm not sure why. Typically, I can deal with the bumps and the bruises, but Lord have mercy, I've had quite a few of them. Anyway, Mercury will be going direct in the sign of Leo. And what's interesting is it's going to be opposing Pluto, not with precision. It's a few degrees off. Pluto, I believe, is at 2 degrees, and Mars will be at, or excuse me, Mercury will be at 4 degrees. So it's not exact, but we've been dealing with this opposition for quite some time. And this is all about those power struggles. It's all about the polarization. It's all about the purpose of polarization. And now with Mercury going direct, there's clarity coming in. Announcements coming in that want decisive action. We want to take action on things, and Mars in Libra is going to sextile, will be sextile this Mercury energy on Thursday of this week. So Mars sextiling this energy is going to ask us, it's going to give us the rocket booster so that we can take decisive action, that's for sure. We definitely want to step away from interference. We've learned this. We want to step away from distractions. We've learned this. We're practicing it with the full moon in Aquarius energy, and we want to tune in to what's true. That's what Mercury's helping us with too. Mercury is working with those outer planets. That's very helpful to us. And we will need, because Mercury's in the sign of Leo, we want to tune into our heart and use that as a filter as we communicate, either as communications come into us or as we communicate to others. Especially if there are ego-based situations that you're dealing with, and clarity comes in that brings forward movement and encouragement. So again, we want to run things through our heart. Our heart is a great tool for, I think of it as a strainer of sorts. If I run things through my heart, I really can detect the truth of situations. It's so helpful. And like I said, with Mercury going direct in Leo, which is all about heart-centered consciousness and courage and that type thing, we really are getting some clarity. And with Mars going to step in just a couple of days, we're going to make decisive movements forward. So in addition to that, on this day, which is Monday, Saturn, which is retrograde in Aries, is going to sextile Gemini. We've felt this energy before. This is the second hit of this sextile energy. The first was back in April the 4th. But if you recall, Saturn was in Pisces, and Uranus was in Taurus, a water sign and a earth sign. So the energy is a little bit different. Now with Saturn in Aries and Uranus in Gemini, initially we were asked to trust the process, the first sextile. We needed to trust the process with that water and earth energy. Now they've changed signs to air and fire. And new initiatives that are coming in, again, now we've got Mercury direct too. So new initiatives that are coming in have support and connections to assist us. The patience that we've shown, Saturn's in Aries and it's retrograde, the patience that we've shown in this process has paid off. It's definitely paying off. One thing we want to do is remain disciplined through this process, because we're not quite to the finish line yet. Stay focused, because there's going to be a third sextile that comes in next January. This is a process. It's unfolding. This is the second stage of the process that is actually quite rejuvenating, I must say. And it has a higher frequency to it because we've got Uranus in Gemini here, and co-creation is the theme because it's a sextile. So we want to set an intention for this energy. There could be breakthroughs that you've been waiting for, you've been working towards and waiting for, and now there's a breakthrough energy that comes in, providing a new opportunity. And Gemini, with Uranus being in Gemini, it could require a choice of sorts as well. But just know the complete unfoldment may not be until January, when we have the third and final sextile of these two again in Pisces and in Taurus. So both of those planets will have retrograded and moving forward again. So very, very interesting energy. Then on Tuesday of this week, we have a beautiful, beautiful conjunction. Venus and Jupiter will conjunct in the sign of Cancer in Sirius. The most beautiful star is going to be right there as well. This is the most beneficial day of the year. We have the two benefics having a conversation all about unconditional love. It's in the sign of Cancer, fullness of the heart, sacred family, love, and nurturing. I really enjoy this energy. I think that it's going to bring in some much needed healing vibrations. As soon as I was sitting with this energy, I started hearing, bring me the higher love. Again, not a singer, but that song kept playing in my mind, and I was thinking, yeah, that's what this is all about. Bring me the higher love. Then later in this week, I believe it's the 13th, we will have Black Moon Lilith, which is in the sign of Scorpio, is going to sextile this energy. She's going to trine this energy because she is in Scorpio, and this energy is in Cancer. There's going to be a grand water trine eventually, a little bit later, when all of this energy notches up a little bit more and connects with the nodes. But nonetheless, let's stay present. When Black Moon Lilith connects with this energy in a trine, in a water trine, it's going to allow for the freedom to rise from the depths with forgiveness, because Black Moon Lilith in Scorpio is all about hidden truths. Yes, you want sovereignty and independence and freedom, but it could be about hidden truths where you had to hide your sensuality or sexuality. You were shamed because of it. And because this is a trine, and because this is such a divine feminine energy, we are ridding ourselves of any damage from the mother or lack of nurturing energy. I really enjoy this. We are embracing the rise of the sacred feminine. Ooh, just get chills when I think about it. Then on the 14th of this week, which is Thursday already, that same Mercury direct is going to sextile Mars in Libra. And we are weighing the options. We've taken a look at everything. We've gotten some clarity, some information's coming in that we have been pondering back and forth about. When Mercury entered shadow on the 30th of June, then went retrograde on July 17th. We've kind of pivoted back and forth. Well, the information's come in, now we have clarity, and boom, here's Mars. Mars wants us to make decisive action. It's in Libra, so we will have the ability to weigh the pros and the cons. We might pivot a little bit here, a little bit there. It may have to do with relationships, but regardless, Mars is going to help us make decisive action so that we can align with the new, with this fresh energy that's coming in, so we can take advantage of it. Then 1 week from today, we're going to have Jupiter enter shadow. And with Jupiter entering shadow, just after connecting with Venus in the sign of Cancer, and also Black Moon Lilith having a little conversation with these planets, with these entities in trine formation, I really think that this Jupiter retrograde season is going to be interesting. I typically don't talk about when Jupiter enters shadow, but I think it's worth circling on the calendar. Because during this retrograde cycle, first shadow, then retrograde, Jupiter will be connecting with the nodes of fate, with Black Moon Lilith, with Juno and Vesta. Lilith, Juno, and Vesta are all in the sign of Scorpio, and they're going to talk about, let's see, partnership and marriage and vows and commitments, wounding, hidden truth, trauma, embracing your sacred light, finding peace and purpose. And it's all from a beneficial place. This isn't difficult energy. It's just happening. It's like the next phase of unfolding relative to home and family and nurturing. And I just really enjoy this. So let's get these dates down. Jupiter is going to enter shadow on the 17th of August. Then Jupiter will go retrograde on November 11th of 2025 and remain retrograde beginning at 25 degrees of Cancer, retrograde back to 15 degrees of Cancer. So if you've got Cancer placements in those degree signs, this is going to be personal for you. And then go direct next March. March 10th, Jupiter will be going direct again. When Jupiter is retrograde, it's a more internal process of expansion, but nonetheless, it's in shadow now and will be in shadow until November. We'll talk more about retrograde when November comes, but it's worth circling on the calendar to see what kind of family dynamics, again, in the sign of Cancer, family, home, nurturing, divine feminine energy we're going to be working with as far as expansion goes. It really feels like the sacred feminine's wanting to spread her wings a little bit. Well, that's all I have for you this week. I do want to say, however, there's so much air and fire energy. This morning I was struggling quite a bit and had to just take time and space to recenter myself. Not a lot of earth energy. If you've got a lot of earth in your chart, you may be feeling really amped up right now. So find grounding where you can. I'm at a location where they have beautiful gardens, so I was able to go outside and spend some time in nature, and that really helped me to ground. But sleeping was even a little difficult. So just know that's part of this process. Do your breath work if necessary in order to kind of bring yourself back down again and find that center. Well, again, that's all I have for you this week. I decided to use the Animal Spirit deck, Kim Krans. I love this deck. And the card that jumped out was the frog. Let's see what the book has to say. Clearing, cleansing, and healing. The frog and the water element are almost inseparable. The frog spends its first months of life entirely within this healing element and then emerges to rest on land. But no matter how earthly the frog becomes, its need for cleansing and rejuvenation is regular. Frogs tend to become overworked and undernourished, so it's vital that such sensitive creatures practice self-care. This card serves as a reminder that water helps us cleanse, forgive, cleanse, forgive, and release. Time to dive in. Frogs aren't meant to carry a heavy load. I really think this is what Jupiter retrograde is going to be about in the sign of Cancer, and working with nodes energy and our want to service and help others, and how we can get kind of caught up in that. Anyway, that was too much of an aside. That's all I have for you this week. I want to thank you for joining me today. If you have any comments or suggestions, post them in the box below. Again, thank you for your patience with me. Mercury retrograde too. Like I said, it's been interesting. If you want to co-create with me, please do share this video with others. If you want to know when videos are being dropped, click the subscribe button. I hope you have a fabulous week. I hope the energy that comes in is very rejuvenating and exciting, and that we're able to make decisive action with that Mars energy, and that the sextile to Uranus gives us the higher understanding, higher frequency understanding, so that we can truly align with our higher self. Have a fabulous week. Namaste.